Guys, we are here with Southeastern Louisiana head coach Frank Scelfo. And for you, Coach, you guys are coming off in a very impressive season. You mentioned just over there, lost 3 games by 3 combined, like 3 points. So for you, how important is it to get over that hump, get to the quarterfinals, win a conference championship? What are the keys to that?
Well, that's important, and we challenged our players. I thought our players did a good enough job last year to win all 3 of those games. So I challenged our staff. Our staff, including me, starts with me. We got to find a way to get 3 points, and that's what we did. All season, we spent all digging and looking and trying to find an angle somewhere. And the summer and fall camp is going to help that. And then let's jump into the season. Let's see where we go.
And the big storyline, of course, Cole Kelly on his way out, also turning at the wide receiver spot. For you, how do you replace talent like that, and what has been the process like for you behind the scenes, finding guys to replace that production?
Right. Well, first, Cole won the Walter Payton Award in 20. Should have won it again this past fall. I mean, I don't mind saying that, and I'm not biased. I just look at the numbers and what he did. But losing those guys, when you look at that, we prepare for that each and every week. We practice with a purpose. We don't just go out there with 11 guys in practice. We're practicing 2 and 3 deep to make sure that if something were to happen during the course of a game, other guys are going to step up. And that's what we did with Cole at the quarterback position. We do it at every position so that when it's next man up mentality, we actually have that.
And you've seen this team develop throughout spring practice and summer workouts, about to start fall camp. What's different about this team? What makes this year's Southeastern Louisiana team special?
We misuse the term love sometimes, but I think our guys are starting to love each other. They're starting to get close. I see the culture in the locker room continuing to grow. Our leadership is really good. Cole was a big leader for us. He did an unbelievable job, but I think we got some other guys that learned from him, and you're seeing that come together in the locker room. So when I see all of those things happen, what's going to take place on the field will take care of itself. The culture in the locker room is more important for me.
And, I've asked all the coaches here this is a big question. Things have changed over the years as a head coach. You got a roster management has changed with the transfer portal and recruiting also. How do you and your staff balance recruiting from the transfer portal compared to the high school circuit? At
the end of the day, we want to build our program with local Louisiana high school kids. That's what we want to do. We'll go out a little bit if we need to, but we want to do that. We're also going to shop the portal to find if we have immediate needs. That's what we're going to look at too. But where you really got to, what hasn't changed is that we're going to look for a certain person. The film's going to tell you whether he's a player or not. We're going to look for a certain person that fits our culture. We've turned down a lot of players that wanted to come to Southeastern because of what we heard at other places, what they did, how they handled things, whether they're a team first guy or not. So we turned down a lot of people like that, whether it be high school or transfer portal guys. So there's a definite characteristic that we look for, and if we don't find it in those guys, I don't care what the film looks like, we're not bringing them in.
Hey, I like the message, Coach. And then also with all the conference realignment, you guys got a new schedule very late in the summer, just a few weeks ago. Did that change anything for the coaching staff? Did you guys have to adjust at all? What was that like when you guys heard that some of the opponents you guys added got dropped off, things like that?
Yeah, that's what happens when administrators make decisions that the coaches ought to be involved in, right? The grass isn't always greener somewhere else. That when you get people on the ground that are actually doing work each and every day, let those people in on those decisions, and you'll find out that some of those things the decisions that they make aren't well educated, even though they're supposed to be well educated people. So I think when you look at that, for us as coaches, give us the schedule. We started some opponents, but give us the schedule and we'll go play. That's what'll happen. That's what we do, right? We adjust. Last year was the same thing for us. We got hit by a hurricane right before the first game. We evacuated. We played 6 straight games on the road when we should have had some home games. We didn't, but we adapted and we continued to play, and that's what we're going to do again this year.
And the final question: there's always guys that come out of nowhere that develop, have breakout seasons. Who are some names that we should watch out for on Southeastern's roster coming into 2022?
Yeah, I wish I could give you some names. I can't. We have 0 starters coming back, right? So we'll have 22 new starters, and because everybody's competing for a job. I don't care who you are, you're going to compete for a job, and we're going to be 2 deep. So as the season goes on, injuries take place, guys are going to step up. Who they are, we don't know yet. We really don't. I mean, I can project things, but I don't have a crystal ball. But we're going to have some guys step up, I promise you that.
Coach, I appreciate your time, man. I know you guys are going to be going in for that Southland Conference Championship, look to make some waves in the playoffs again. I appreciate you joining me.
Thank you. Appreciate everything y'all do.